All right. Welcome back, Health Heroes. I am Chef LaQuita Marie here for the best 30 minutes of your day, where we will be cooking live today. We're going to help you be a health hero for your loved one with lots of fruits and vegetables. Of course, this is a pasta dish. This is something that you can cook with your children. And in today's episode, we are going to not only be cooking, but we'll also be playing some games. These games are the theme for this week, so we don't want to lose that theme. As you come in, don't forget put in hashtag health heroes. That's heroes with an OES, like HEROES. Don't leave off the ES. G. Albert is saying, are you sure you want the kiddos to have all the fun in the kitchen? We're going to talk about it because, TW Popcorn is already in here putting in hashtag health heroes. He knows how to win, whether it's with your kids or whether it's, however you're going to do it. Keep in mind, I don't like cooking with my kids very much. So I'm going to just give you all some tips and tricks to keep them busy. I'll say that. This way, if you want to cook the food, but you do want to be that health hero for them, you're kind of showing them the ropes. They're in the space with you, but you don't want to have to worry about them messing up your food. Then yes, Tati Sifatita, you're all the way in Romania. We've got tips for you. Okay. G. Albert, I see what you're doing there. You better put in hashtag health heroes, okay? We already have some of you putting it in properly, so that's always good. But let's get right into what we're cooking today. We are cooking a pasta, and let's get on to the tips. As I start these tips, I will be chopping and I will be adding things to our pan. Let me make sure I got my trusty knife. Y'all know I have my kid-friendly knife. This is tip one. It's not in the slideshow, but this is tip one. If you want to cook with your kids, have a safe knife. So that way, even if they grab it up, I say you fixed it, health heroes, yes. Even if they grab this knife, this Cutco butter spreader, I think it's a serrated bread knife is what it's called. It's in my Amazon shop, but this particular knife is the only knife I use. It won't cut me. I can like really, go to town here, but it cuts right through. When I was eating meat, it would cut through meat and it's very sharp. And this is my newer one. I had lost one, y'all. Y'all know this knife is like 20 years old. I had lost one and I had to replace it maybe 8 years ago. And so as you see, I'm not promoting anything in particular, swiping that knife on myself. But my whole point today is that kids like fun things. They like handheld things that fit into their hands. So that means today we've got some mushrooms. If you don't like mushrooms, don't use them, right? We do have carrots. So baby carrots instead of the big carrot, right? Now, this is another thing to know. When you go to the grocery store, you'll notice, well, I noticed this bag of carrots, the full-size carrot that you have to peel and chop off the ends of, there was a 16-ounce bag for $1.79. The baby carrots are already peeled, same price, 16 ounces, $1.79. You're not losing anything. With these, you do have to cut off the tips. The full carrot, you have to skin it, or you can eat the skin. I don't like the flavor of the skin. It's too grassy for me. But yes, make things easy for yourself. Children like handheld things. So if you want them to help with the carrots, you can have them rinse the carrots, right? So into this pot, what we're going to do today is we're going to start cooking some of our vegetables. Children like crunch, so we are going to cook them so that they keep a little bit of the crunch. And that way, once we add our noodles, and I have two different noodles. I have a sticky type of noodle and I have a rice noodle. I think I'm going to do the sticky noodle because I'm going to do a simple sauce. And this simple sauce is going to be salt, sugar, oil, and vinegar. Yep, I'm using sugar. Okay, so Anania, I know you're not adverse to sugar. I hope you're not because we're using sugar today. I am going to start by just chopping up a few different things. Gail and I is reminding you all to, of course, please click the like button if you like what you see. I've got a huge head of cauliflower here, so I probably will add some of that in because this has a great texture. Everybody likes textures. Children, their teeth are brand new. They can handle all the textures. So that means I am going to take out of here an onion. This will keep some crunch. I'm going to take out of here some garlic. That will give it some flavor. And remember, all of these things, we're eating them for the nutrition. right? So if you're trying to figure out how do I make sure that I have my garlic uh, easily chopped, go to my Amazon store. Gail at Night has dropped the link. Y'all hear that crunch? I think it's so fun how food has paper on it. Like, how does garlic have paper on it? It feels like paper. It looks like paper. I have these things out here for a reason, y'all. You know, I do put my cacao powder into my roll java coffee every day. Every day. Sometimes I just make my children chocolate milk with that cacao powder. The whole point is that when we get to the slideshow, because I do have a slideshow presentation for you all, in addition to playing the games, we will be talking about this pepperoni and this cheese, both non-dairy items. The cheese is non-dairy. The pepperoni is a non-meat pepperoni that's really good. Field Roast brand. I told you all, I've shown you this before. The Field Roast pepperoni is really delicious. So let's get right into our, Lord knows, y'all, that just went down. Let's just get right into our super chef creation. No, you know what? Let's get into our slideshow. Let's do that. All right. Uh-oh. All right, so cooking with kids, 5 fun and easy recipes, right? Well, let's get started with this because if you want roll java delivered to your door so you can be sipping on it while you review this slideshow, this is going to give you 5 simple recipes so that even if you're not cooking this pasta recipes, you have some other simple ideas. And I'll give you the tips and tricks that I use because these aren't full-fledged recipes. These are just suggestions, okay? So remember, I told you in the beginning, I don't like cooking with kids because they make a mess and they really try to work and do what you're doing and they slow me down. So like, I'm just going to be honest, okay? They're very cute. I love children. I adore them. And I'm really good with them. Ever since I've been a kid, I've been good with other kids and they just gravitate towards me. Y'all know I'm a nurse for 30 years now, and a lot of my patients are still children, which is it's a lot of fun because you're taking care of children and they always surprise you and they always push the limits, and so they do remind you to do your best with that, right? Push the limits, go for it. Now if you're looking to push the limits, get some yoga in, like Goga, get your splits together. Yoga with Goga, thank you for coming in all the way from Kenya. Now, Goga, if you are trying to figure out how to be safe with children, I've curated this list for you, and I've already shown you all this first tip. I said safety first. Y'all remember when I pulled my knife out? Y'all know every time I pull my knife out, I tell you it's in my Amazon store. I bought my knife 20 years ago. I had to buy another one 7 or 8 years ago when I lost that one, and it was actually just in the dish drain. It wasn't even far. It didn't get lost for real. But the point is, this Cutco knife is very safe. Children can use this. They have used this. I trust my children now with this knife. And I got it because when they were younger, I wanted to make sure everybody was safe. So one thing that you can do with your children to keep them cooking in the kitchen is to just, talk about safety, right? You want to explain to them that no, not the sharp knife. Give them a butter knife, right? Butter knives do cut, but they are soft enough so that they won't cut the child. So safety first. Make sure you have things unplugged because you don't want that child looking like a 1980s movie. Y'all remember when they used to always take people out in the movies by throwing the toaster in the bathtub? I did not know you could electrocute somebody like that. And that was giving us ideas. Remember they used to also cut the seatbelt when they were driving. The driver would cut the seatbelt and then run into something so the passenger would get taken out, right? So, and when you're in the kitchen, you do not want anybody to be taken out. Be sure that you unplug things until you're ready to use them. And explain, these things to your child. Don't let your child plug things up if they're very young because they touch the prongs when they're plugging things up. I've touched the prongs before as a child when I was plugging things up and I felt that zing, AKA electricity. I got electrocuted. Y'all, don't electrocute your children. All you want to do is make sure you're getting their faves in. So right now I'm chopping up the garlic. I'm going to chop up this onion. And remember, this pasta today, y'all, is going to be super simple. It's going to leave some crunch. Children, they like complex flavors actually, but their palates are still developing. So a lot of times we think, oh my goodness, that was just too seasoned for them. No, they can handle it. You just have to give them nutritious food along with it. Don't just load them up on sauces and flavors. Give them everything. So that's why we're putting all these fruits and vegetables in there, or faves. Let's see what G. Albert is saying. He says, FYI, my grandkids are 7 and 9. They love helping to cook in Canada. So what's a good age? You know what? Children can start helping in the kitchen as young as 2. Shucks, they can learn it at 1, because at 1 years old, they can rinse off the fruits and the vegetables. And you know what? Here's something else that they can do. This first recipe right here, a fruit kebab, right? So, cooking with kids is fun because they're cute, but you want to teach them the skills, let them be creative and develop their healthy habits. So for this first recipe or food idea to cook with kids, have them do a fruit kebab. Don't get a sharp stick. Do not get a sharp one. You can always have them assemble those fruit kebabs so that they are putting them onto the stick. Now, this is something probably for older children, ages 2 and up. Ages 2 and up will probably not poke their eye out. You don't want them to be looking like a Christmas story. And look, I was just telling y'all about that toaster, right, in the water. And G. Albert says, toaster in the bathtub, first generation taser, right? That was our original taser, wasn't it? When they would, I don't know how many of y'all, do y'all remember those TV shows in the 80s? We had a lot of cops and robber shows and investigator shows where they would, people would be in the shower and they would throw the toaster in there, or they would throw the hair dryer, they would plug it up, they would plug up something and they would throw it in there. So I don't know if y'all remember that. Let me know if you do. I'm going to show you all right now the food cam. I'm going to switch to that really quickly, just so that you can see me put the onions and the garlic into the pan. Now, I never use half an onion. This is a whole onion, right? And remember, this is going to come together so quickly and easily. Everything that we cook, we can pretty much cook in this 30-minute show. What's the point? Getting fruits and vegetables into your diet, because that's what's fixing us. That's what's healing us. Y'all know Dr. Brooke Goldner has reversed her own lupus, and a lot of other people's autoimmune diseases have been reversed thanks to her. Y'all know that Dr. Baxter Montgomery, Master Herbalist Yaki Awakened. I call out some of the same names every week so y'all can look them up. So I'll call out this week Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn as well. Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn is the one who I'm going to, just so that you know, I'm going to cut these baby carrots in half, okay? Because I have some long noodles. Children like fun, so I'm going to put the long noodles in there. So I'm just going to cut these in half and put them in there as well. Dr. Caldwell B. Esselstyn, he's the one who fixed Samuel L. Jackson. So that's 1 carrot cut into 4 pieces, a baby carrot cut into 4 pieces, and I'm just going to do that. And so Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, his wife, well, he's in his 80s now, him and his wife. His wife still has a cooking show. So you can always, and they do this show with their daughter, you can always find these people, they're still out here reversing things and healing things with food. Okay, so that's why I mentioned that they have a cooking show. It's the fruits and vegetables that's healing these folks. Now, y'all know I love me some Yaki Awaken. I was watching him last night. He was having technical difficulties, but guess what? Gail at Night has put his link there. Here's the thing you need to know about Master Herbalist Yaki Awaken. He says the same exact thing every time. And why? Because the information never changes. You don't have to get a new fix, because he has healing testimonies. He says he has healed people. He's like Dr. Sabi. So he is not ashamed to say, no, we have the evidence. These people have reversed their herpes, their lupus, their chronic asthma, cancer. He has done that. And so he says the same thing all the time because he's a frugivore. A frugivore is somebody that eats fruit only. And him and Dr. Baxter Montgomery, they have reversed some people, brought them back from the brink with food alone. Let's see what Gialbert is saying. TV shows in the 80s, that was before my time. I may well check out the History Channel so I can learn and understand where LaQuita is coming from. You know what, Gialbert? You're a grandfather, but you are not that old. You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. In the 80s, those television shows were so fun, but they were, they showed you how to take some people out. Cutting that seatbelt when the people were driving, y'all let me know. Of course, if you've heard of Yaki Awakened, if you've ever checked them out, let me know as well. But always keep in mind that this information is for informational purposes only. None of this is medical advice. It's just my personal opinion. I'm going to go ahead and add a splash of water to this pan, and that way you all can see. When I say a splash, I mean like a fourth of a cup of water, just like that. I'll turn the pan on and then I'll put the lid on because everything cooks faster with the lid on. You keep the heat in, and that way you can bring the temperature up fairly quickly. So before we get into too much, let's get back to our slideshow. So back to the slideshow. Here we go. The next recipe, the next way that you can cook with kids is a homemade pizza, right? So this is where if you're making a pizza, I'm going to grab this pepperoni. If you're making a pizza, you just give them a little bit of the ingredients, right? I showed you all this field roast pepperoni, so I'll show it to you again. I'm going to make sure I'm on the big screen and I'll show you the non-dairy cheese. You give them a little bit of sauce. So, let's say, for example, you got grandkids like Love and Live Show. You have children like Love and Live Show, but you got little people, grandkids, right? You give them a few pepperonis, maybe one, shucks, maybe two, or maybe you cut one pepperoni in half, or you cut one pepperoni in 4 pieces. You also give them some non-dairy cheese, because y'all know me. I say dairy is the devil, and it's not just me. It's all those doctors I was just mentioning. Dairy is such an allergen, and it causes so many issues. We're going to play one of those games on dairy today, by the way. So I have here, Wegmans is in my area, but they have a non-dairy. Wegmans has a non-dairy cheddar style. Wegmans also has this is their brand of cheese, is what I'm saying. Their brand has a Parmesan style shredded cheese. So these can go on a pizza. If you are a person that you don't eat dairy products, a lot of people do have dairy allergies. A lot of people, they do have nut allergies and egg allergies. I'm going to throw some of this cauliflower into this pan because everything kind of goes in at once. And y'all let me know, should I throw the mushrooms in there as well? Love and Live Show, what do you think? This is a simple pasta. I'm making long noodles because, of course, the children, they really like fun foods. So there's something about noodles that are kind of fun, right? So back to the slideshow. This is another way you can cook with your children, right? You can definitely make homemade pizzas, right? This way they can experiment with toppings. Give them the pepperoni, but give them some of these actual vegetables or fruits, because a pepper is a fruit. So if you're putting peppers onto your pizza, that's a fruit. So either way, that's why I always say fruits and vegetables together, because it's all the same stuff. They all grew out of the ground or grew on a tree or they came from the earth. And y'all know the classification, and I learned this from Yaki Awakened actually, that some of the food, it was classified differently just for shipping purposes. Like, I can't remember what they were taxing at the time. Maybe there was a heavier tax on fruit. So they started classifying some things as vegetables. Or maybe there was a higher tax on veggies. The point is, classification means nothing right here. Just get what grows out of the ground. That is what's going to fix you. So this way, if you happen to click on the link that Gail at Night dropped, saying connect with Dr. Baxter Montgomery, you'll find out that the food, all of this food that grows from the ground, will heal you the same way. So should I throw in the mushrooms, y'all? Let me know. Also, be sure to put in hashtag Health Heroes, because we're about to play a game and we are also about to finish up this slideshow. We're already on recipe number 3, a rainbow salad. What is a rainbow salad? A salad. So when you're cooking a salad, give the kids some of the parts and pieces. Let them make their own salad. One of my friends, as a Nigerian, she said whenever the adults were cooking, the kids were allowed to go out back, make a fire, and cook their own little meal on the fire. And you know how like all we had was like mud pies and whatnot. Now I didn't have mud pies. They didn't even let us play in the mud. But what I'm saying is that's what we had. We did not have, that luxury. Okay, thank you for telling me. Love and Live Show is saying nice healthy food. Yes, put mushrooms in it. I'll do that. And also thank you for putting in hashtag Health Heroes. Y'all know the real real health hero is here right now. So I'm going to show you all the pan because Lash's Journey is in here saying true. Look, if Lash's Journey says it's true because y'all know that she does a lot of food research. She's like me, right? She's always watching some of the information. Hopefully the steam will die down and y'all will be able to see this in just a minute. Let me just direct the steam a different way. Let me move the pan over some. Maybe that will help. I don't know. I'm going to throw in this cauliflower. Then I'll throw in the mushrooms. And then comes the salt, sugar, oil, and vinegar. So that particular flavor profile, Little Ruby's Daycare, I think your children would like it because, of course, you have a daycare center. I hope you're powered by rolljava.com because you need it, getting up early, staying up late with those kids, right? But Little Ruby's Daycare, this is a simple pasta. We're making long noodles and we're putting different textures in here. So right now I'm chopping up the mushrooms into like 6 pieces. Each mushroom is only about 6 pieces. And I'm going to stir it to be sure they end up at the bottom because mushrooms create a lot of water on their own. Most vegetables are mostly water, like spinach, it's like 70% water. And so mushrooms, they also hold a lot of water. Y'all know why? Mushrooms are a layer of the earth. You have the mycelium layer of the earth. And you know how we talk about the trees filtering the groundwater or the soil filtering the groundwater so that water, if you need good water, you just pour it into the ground, let it filter, and then come out through a natural spring. So the mushrooms are under there holding everything together. They are a part of that system. So that's why they have so much water. They are soaking it up as well. So back to what I was saying. Thank you, Goga. He says, always mouth watering. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, yesterday when I made that sauce with the red lentils, I did thin it out a little bit, but everybody loved it. The people there at the Fred Hewitt Center, they loved it. And I say that because they took a bite and then they immediately took a second bite. They also immediately were like, you know how you have that involuntary, They gave one of those. I'm going to put another 4th cup of water in here. So Little Ruby's Daycare, if you're trying to cook with your kids, I know you do a lot of shows talking about what you can do with children. So I'm going to get back to the slideshow so that way you all can see what else we can do with our children. How else we can cook with these kids, because I told y'all, I don't really like cooking with kids. They slow me down. I love to play with children. I love to entertain them, educate them, and all of those good things. But cooking with them is another story. So let's get back to the slideshow. All right. Let's see here. We already talked about the rainbow salad. Basically, you use a lot of colors, right? Not just greens. Use peppers, tomatoes, and all that. Chop it up small or give them a butter knife so they can chop it themselves. And then pasta with tomato sauce. I always tell you to check the back of your jars for sugar. Not sugar, cheese. A lot of these pasta sauces, I don't know why they have cheese in them, but when you look on the back, they have Parmesan, or you'll see, it's usually Romano or Parmesan on the back of and Prego is the main one, just to give you a brand, because y'all know, sometimes I sound like a fanatic, but seriously, go to the grocery store next time you're there looking for red sauce or pasta sauce, check out Prego. Look at the front where it might say veggie something, and then look at the back and you'll realize that, wait a minute, why does this say Romano in here? There's cheese in there. So don't do it, y'all. Make sure you watch what you're giving your children, okay? So the next thing, and you see, here's what Little Ruby's Daycare is saying. They either speed you up or slow you down. Yes, the children, they're cute, they're so sweet, but they want to show you stuff, so they slow you down, or they're doing whatever they're doing, and you're like, let me just get out of here. So finally, chocolate dipped strawberries. Make your own, y'all. If you want a fun treat, that's one reason why I have this cacao right here. So this particular cacao is a chocolate powder. But this cacao is, let me make sure I'm on the big screen so I can show it to you all, because right now, for some reason, I still have the pot on the screen. Y'all be sure to put in Health Heroes because we're about to do our Faves 100 giveaway. So this cacao powder, I find it at Walmart. I also find it at Amazon. It's in my Amazon store. This has more antioxidants than blueberries. I forget how many more times, like 60 more times. And you know, blueberries, y'all, Master Herbalist Yaki Awaken, he always says if you want to heal, you want to get those berries. And he also says get those astringent fruits like the citrus fruits. So if he's talking about berries, he's like blueberries, raspberries, goji berries, all these different berries, strawberries. But the cacao, this is another one that even though it's processed, it works. And of course they had to process it to, you know, let you get the they weren't going to put a cocoa pod in a bag. We wouldn't know what to do with that. I'm going to stir this up a little bit, and we are finished, y'all, with this slideshow, which means it's time to play a game. So I do thank you all for checking out those, you know, ideas for your little ones. Definitely use some of those. Right now, there's water from the mushrooms at the bottom of the pan. So let's play a quick game. I mean, not let's play a quick game. Let's go ahead and see how many of you have put in Health Heroes. If you've already done that, then we can play a game. If you have not, if you've already done that, we can choose our Phase 100 hero. If not, we'll go ahead and play the game, because the game is on our website, superfoodparents.com, scrolling right there at the bottom of the screen, superfoodparents.com. You know, our marketing director is getting the site ready. It's looking gooder and gooder, y'all. The new website is going to be way more intuitive, a lot more help for you all. So definitely click the like button, check out our Amazon store, see what we have, but all of those things will also be on the new website so that you can more easily find what you need. So let's see here. We've got a few people that have already put in hashtag Health Heroes, so that's good to see. I'm going to go to a quick game. You know, this is on superfoodparents.com, and this particular game is called Dairy or Non-Dairy, because some of us, when we're reading the back of the bag of the jar, the pasta jar, we don't know what Romano is. We might not realize that's a cheese, right? Because I've had people actually say that, like, oh, I didn't know that. So here we go, dairy or non-dairy. When you go to superfoodparents.com, this game is on the food games page, and then you just scroll down and you'll find it. So what happens here is we just have to choose, are these items dairy or non-dairy? And this game talks to us as well.
Coconut milk yogurt.
So coconut milk yogurt would be non-dairy. Did y'all know that Silk brand
Casein
is milk? So casein is a milk product. I almost missed
cream cheese.
Cream cheese. Philadelphia is dairy. I think they have a non-dairy.
Non-dairy whipped cream.
Did y'all know Ready Whip? Ready Whip has a non-dairy.
Earth Balance butter.
That's the one I use. Earth Balance is non-dairy.
Blue cheese.
I have not found a non-dairy one yet, but that's
sour
dairy.
cream.
Now, Daisy sour cream is dairy. I do have a non-dairy.
Vanilla ice cream.
I used to eat Breyers, no longer because it's dairy.
Butter.
I don't eat that butter. I now use Earth Balance.
Yogurt.
See, Dan and yogurt, y'all. That's a dairy product.
Whipped cream.
Now, Ready Whip, you see they have a dairy and
Sheep's
a
milk
non-dairy.
cheese. Feta.
And sheep's milk, that's a dairy.
Sherbet ice cream.
Sherbet is non-dairy, y'all.
Almond milk.
Almond milk is non-dairy.
Kefir.
Kefir is a dairy product.
Oat milk.
Oat milk, non-dairy.
Cheddar cheese.
Cheddar cheese is dairy.
Cashew milk.
Whew, I'm gonna pause it because this thing is flying by, but cashew milk, you can best believe, is non-dairy. Did y'all know that you could eat cashew, drink cashew milk, and all of that stuff? Look at Yoga Goga over there laughing. You better put in hashtag Health Heroes, because we're about to do that right after I put in my salt, sugar, oil, and vinegar. Y'all, that game is available for you. So this way, if you're trying to figure out, what do I feed my children? What brands are out here? You don't have to wait for this episode to say, oh, Chow is a brand they have cheese slices, they have shredded cheese, they're found in various stores, even Walmart. You can just play the game and you'll see these different name brands and you'll know to look for them. So I'm going to add a couple of things to my pot because we're at the 30-minute mark, y'all. Hey there, Coleman. Thank you for putting in hashtag Health Heroes. I hope you win because Yoga with Goga was playing. So he out there in Kenya. And he knew the rules before he came from Kenya because he's been here before. He comes from Kenya all the time. Remember this particular sponsor of mine. Y'all see Emblem Olive Oil? Look at how beautiful the packaging is. I think I'm going to use the Smoky Mesquite olive oil as my oil today. I've just opened this. This is my first time using this. So when I say sugar, I'm gonna turn the pot down first of all. So that way the steam won't come up. Salt, sugar, oil, and vinegar. Goga says, yes, I visit Kenya. You know you're in Kenya right now, I think, because you were in India and you travel so much. So I can't keep up with you. I cannot, Goga. So I'm going to get the sugar. Yes, I do still use sugar. Is sugar crack? Yes, we know that this is a drug, okay? We've established that. So this is where you determine which drugs you want to feed your family. Do you want to give them the food with the color in it, like Red Lake number this, all those colors and dyes? Do you want it to be sugar? How, what do you want to do? So I'm going to move everything to the side. I'll put this food on the screen. Since we're at the 30-minute mark, I know y'all are like, how are we gonna finish this dish? It comes together in about 5 minutes, 5 more minutes, because I have rice noodles. So I'm gonna put in about a teaspoon of sugar. Then I add oil, and I add about 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of oil. You don't need very much. I'm supposed to have vinegar, but I think I left the vinegar in the kitchen. So I'm going to run and grab the vinegar, salt, sugar, oil, and vinegar. So right now I have sugar, I need salt. I am going to choose, I have a pink Himalayan salt here. So I'm just going to put about a teaspoon of salt, because remember, this is going to salt noodles, like a whole pan of these vegetables and noodles. You can also use a seasoned salt. So if you get something from someone and it's already a salt blend, do that. I am going to go and grab the vinegar, and then we're going to stir it all up. So toss it with the vegetables, and I'll run the Faves 100 Hero. Isn't this a shame? I thought I had a video or something that I can show you all. I think I do. I think I have a fun video that I can give you all while I run to get the, let's see, parfaits and brownie bites. Here we go.
Once upon a time in Nutriville, a land brimming with healthy delights, superfood parents embarked on a culinary adventure. They weaved magic with fruits, yogurts, and heavenly brownie bites, creating a tapestry of flavors that delighted the senses. In their cozy kitchens, superfood parents crafted a simple dish, the fruit and yogurt parfait. Using plant-based yogurts like coconut milk and saw milk yogurt, they layered velvety textures and juicy fruits with love. These yogurts were filled with special stuff called probiotics and vitamins that help their tummies feel good, boosted their immune systems, and help their bodies get all the important nutrients. And let's not forget about the juicy fruits they added. Those fruits had lots of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that made their bodies strong and healthy. But the tale didn't end there. Inspired by other superfood parents, they conjured up irresistible brownie bites. These bite-sized marvels blended rich chocolatey goodness of cacao with oats and dates, ensuring guilt-free pleasure with every bite. Amidst their culinary journey, a secret beckoned them. They discovered RolledJava.com, where Nutriville's gourmet coffee awaited. They enjoyed the aromatic blends of rolled Java gourmet coffee along with the nutritional benefits of their parfaits and brownie bites. Embrace the Nutriville Chronicles and gift your loved ones more faves, fruits and veggies every spread. Become a health hero for your loved ones.
All right, y'all, I'm back. I've got some simple apple cider vinegar. If you need rice vinegar, I do have rice vinegar in the kitchen. I know David Hunt is a vegetarian, so he might use rice vinegar. He might have, that was about a tablespoon and a half of vinegar, because David Hunt always gets me on the measurements. So I'm just going to blend these together. So if you have rice vinegar, if you have white vinegar, even works. I know a lot of people cook with white vinegar, but in like Lash's journey, she's saying fruits and veggies. She does not use sugar. Y'all heard in that video just now, you can use dates, because dates are like nature's candy. You can literally just bite a date and feel like you're eating sugar. And the cacao pods are like that too, the cocoa pods. So now that this is all tossed, I'm about to run our Faves 100 Hero, because I'm going to put our rice noodles in here. I'll put the water in here. And this is now seasoned and flavored. I'll show you a little bit closer. Get a little closer. Don't be shy. You see how shiny it is? That's from the oil. Dr. Esselstyn would say, look, leave the oil. I told y'all he fixed Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. had a blockage in his leg. I'm going to taste a piece of cauliflower. That mesquite olive oil from one of our sponsors, Emblem, is fire. Let me tell y'all, when I say fire, I'm talking like good fire. So I'm not using rice noodles. I'm lying, y'all. See, these are rice noodles, but it's a linguine. And the reason why I said I'm lying is because these noodles are kind of like, oh Lord, I was trying to break the whole thing. I can't break every chain. They're sticky though. They're like really thick once you, once you get them going. So I'm going to cover this in water. I'm going to turn the fire back up. And at the very end, I might hit it with a little bit of seasoning salt, because depending on, I know I'll get the flavor that I have, but I know I don't want to add any more oil. So let me just turn this back up to 5, which is high for this particular cooker. And David Hunt is talking to Goga, hoping for okra. Now remember, David, we're doing this type of dish for people like you and the children. Children like the textures, they like the colors, they like fun foods like noodles. So that's why we're doing this, right? And we still have some crunch in our onions. And cauliflower gives an interesting texture, so that when you bite it, it crumbles, as you're chewing it. And then you have the chewiness of the mushroom. Some people call it meaty. I don't. They usually don't necessarily remind me of meat, but I do enjoy the texture of mushrooms. And of course, they take on the flavor of whatever you're making. So let's see here. Hey, She Fire, so good to see you. Always great to see you. I hope you are enjoying this recipe, and I hope you put in hashtag Health Heroes, because Coleman has put it in, David Hunt has put it in, and somebody is about to win the status of today's Faves 100 Hero. That means you'll get automatic status of having eaten 85 points or more worth of fruits and vegetables. Now remember, every fruit and veggie is worth 5 points. So if we look at what's in this pot, we had onion, garlic, mushrooms, cauliflower, carrots. That's 5 things in this one dish, right? So that means we have 25 points per meal. So y'all, this is how you easily get to 100 points a day. Why are you doing this? So that you don't have to go to the doctor. They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but trust me, this food will keep the doctor away as well. So Yoga is over there smiling because him and David Hunt are talking about okra. Look, David, if we mention okra, we really are talking about you, because David Hunt is saying, Goga, I love the people that love okra. I'm just true to myself and realize that it's not for anyone, and have taken up the crusade to bring you guys into the light. David, we're here to help you. Okay, so we would love for you to love over David. We do this all for you. All right, y'all. Let's do the Fave 100 giveaway. Here it is. Who will be today's Faves 100 hero? David Hunt, Yoga Bagoga, G. Albert, TWP Popcorn, She Fires, Tati C. Petita, Yoga Bagogas, G. Albert, Tati C. Petita, She Albert, She Fires, TWP Popcorn, Yoga Bagoga, Tati in Romania. Congratulations to you, while the rest of us are chomping on 25 points of fruits and veggies in this noodle dish. You actually are a Faves 100 hero, honorary Faves 100 hero. So out there in Romania, when we're watching your channel and you're always out walking or jogging or showing us the flowers, keep in mind, this is your new title, Plant Powered Titan. Now, some of you aren't as fabulous because y'all see Tati has this congratulations speech. Congrats for me. And yes, Tati is excited for Tati. Yoga is excited for Tati. Yes, Tati, congratulations. For those of you, let's say She Fires. I know you eat a lot of veggies, but you may not be able to get all the way to 80 points like Tati. That means you might be a superfood adventure with just 65 points, but keep it going because y'all see how humble Tati is. Tati C. Petita is saying thanks, and no okra is in there trying to tell you, She Fires, that you don't need to like okra. Y'all see David has called in no okra to help us, but no okra is also congratulating Tati C. Petita, who is a plant power titan. But for some of you who are at the bottom, you might be a Faves Crusader with only 50 points so far, 50 points for the day. But remember, a dish like this will get you halfway there. This gives you 25 points, okay? So let's see what Yoga with Goga is saying. He's saying, haha, David, even with your reinforcements, we must get you on the okra side of life. Exactly. Don't laugh at him, She Fires. It's not funny. Okra is seriously good for you, okay? We're trying to get that through to David Hunt. And I should have threw some in here. So yes, Yoga with Goga says, Tati, call a press conference. We are not humble. All I want to say is, everybody, be a health hero for your loved one. Get your fruits and vegetables in every spread. So this way, when you're cooking with children, when you have those children helping you, whether they're speeding you up or slowing you down, like Little Ruby's Daycare Encounter said, you just want to make sure you're giving them the best nourishment. This really does feed their minds, their hearts. And, you know, I say this because that it feeds their minds and their hearts, because people that eat more veggies and they eat closer to the land, they talk about a sense of peace. They say that even in institutions where people have been, you know, in jail, in prison, when they switch them over to foods that are not animal products, the people calm down. There's less violence. So it really does make a difference. And of course, if you're on a diet like G. Albert and you're losing weight, and you know you don't want okra, you're like, no okra, amen. Whoa, that's the way David Hunt, you know, he puts his heart into it when he's saying no okra. You can still get as many fruits and vegetables in. Just get the variety that you like. It's plain and simple, just like that. Of course, currently you can track your faves on our site. I'm going to stir these noodles a little bit because I see them bubbling, and I'll show it to you all also, so that way you can see that in 30 minutes, this came together. Let me put it on the big screen, okay? Let me put the pot in a safe space. And remember, this has some very light flavors: salt, sugar, oil, and vinegar, okay? So if you'd like to see up close, these noodles have wilted. And because they're linguine, they're a little bit thicker. They're going to thicken up the sauce. They are going to continue to soak up this sauce, but I am going to hit this with some of my favorites. And these favorite seasonings are in my store adobo. This is just a seasoning salt, right? It has a garlic flavor, it has pepper. I add this mainly for the garlic and the pepper because pepper helps to carry the nutrients where they need to be. I also like a sprinkle of green, which means I'm going to put this Dollar Tree Italian seasoning in here because this has marjoram, sage, thyme, rosemary, and it gives a really nice finish so that whatever you're cooking, You can put a half teaspoon, a quarter teaspoon, just put some for color. But Yaki Awaken tells you that herbs are healing. Also, Dr. Bobby Price will tell you the same thing. The herbs, because Dr. Bobby Price, he is a pharmacist. He used to work in, the regular old pharmacy, and he started giving people food prescriptions. Once he had started fixing himself and his family, he was giving people food prescriptions, so that now he's at the point where he just went straight up, let me just be a food. Wait, I'm sorry, y'all. This thing got so hot that the picture froze. I thought I was still showing y'all the food. I'm sorry. It's time for our super clap sign off because I know this food is delicious. Y'all know what to do. Text the word faves, Faves, to 757-231-3949. When you text the word faves, Faves, to 757-231-3949, then you can get alerts. You can stay in the loop. So thank you, Gail at Night, for posting that so that way everybody can see it. I'm going to taste this, and I have a feeling this is exactly what I want it to be. Oh, good. The camera came back. I'll see if I can show you all up close before it gets too hot again. Let me turn it down because that helps, because I see it getting a little steamed up, but I'm pretty sure it's time for our super clap sign off. Y'all, my children have been eating these dishes. FYI, they have been slamming down these dishes. Remember yesterday we made a sauce with lentils. I wanted to throw some in here today. I very well could have and still can, but I didn't, because eating beans every day, they also heighten your nutrition level. Yeah, I think the steam is messing up my camera. So that means I am just going to taste this, and if it's good, I'm gonna start clapping and we're gonna sign off because we're in overtime. Y'all know how that works. We're supposed to be 30 minutes. We always go to 45. So I'll blow just a little. I thought I turned the food down. It started bubbling like overtime just now. Okay, there's a mushroom and onion and cauliflower here along with the noodles. So your children will love this because they'll get all the different textures. Mmm. Mmm. Okay. I don't know if it's that garlic mesquite olive oil, but it has a smoky deliciousness to it. I gotta eat this off camera, y'all. Let's clap it out. Goodbye. Y'all have been the absolute best. Thank you for everything. Oh, thank you so much for following on the Amazon store desires. We got Twitter, Amazon, so it is coming up. We have our market director redoing the site. So everything is getting a yes. You know what? Go to Amazon, there's the link. Yoga said, it looks tasty. This is tasty. I'm kind of surprised that that's what the olive oil did. I bought some for my children's violin teacher, and she teaches some piano and harp as well, so she deserves it. Let me tell you. Your kids are gonna love scooping this up. I can't eat on camera, y'all. Y'all know what to do. Just clap it out. Hey, wow, thank you so much, Tree Fire. Now I can afford more olive oil. I think the olive oil was like $20 a bottle. 20 something. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Tree Fire. If I wasn't eating, girl, I would drop it like it's hot. Y'all let me know. Put a one if y'all want me to drop it. Just for her. Y'all know I made that video with pictures. If you want to get on picture, there's a link for you to get started. Take care, Tashi. Yeah, the clap is everything. Take care.